Hi, Bermuda.
We got about an hour show for you. Yeah, Matthew Perifano.
He brought an opening act. There are corn chips just ready for crunching, and I mean to munch me a few. Pills to pop and pillows for punching. I've got a lot of TV to view. I've got Diet Right just right there in my kitchen. Stacks of magazines, all shiny and new. Come on, feet, the channel needs switching. There's such a lot of TV to view. I've got no steady dates, no nasty habits, no extra cash. And when I want to get up and go, I take out the trash. While the mob is out there a-swinging, I'm into my bathrobe and my bottle of scotch. Why hobnob when you could be swinging? There's such a lot of TV, such a large amount of TV. I've got a lot of TV to watch. There's such a lot of TV, no chance of getting VD. I've got a lot of TV to watch. Matthew Perifano, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay. What's going to happen next? So I'm putting on a show tonight. It's a retrospective of my songs. The last year and a half, I've been going through a kind of unprecedented period of songwriting, and I decided to wanted to put a show and just kind of do a retrospective all the way back from my college years to the present, with a few detours into Shakespeare and the AIDS epidemic. So as I was preparing for the show, I was thinking a lot about my relationship to music and my musical influences, and thinking back to my early childhood. And there were certain things that I listened to that I really loved that I think really influenced my songwriting. First there was the Little White Duck and Other Children's Songs by Burl Ives. As I grew older, I thought, as I aged, I thought, I could kind of go for Sean Connery or Burl Ives. And, I think Burl Ives is okay, as far as like what I grew into as I grew older. Also, my mother was very musical. She did, when they settled in Walnut Creek across the bay, she put together these youth concerts. And my older brother told me, I have no recollection, I must have been a toddler, but Dave Brubeck did one of the concerts. And after the concerts, they came over to my house and jammed in the living room. So anyway, I was too. There was also a piece of music that just really, I think my whole musical sensibility is locked up in it. Is anybody familiar with the piece that was made into a George Powell puppet tune back in 1947 entitled Tubby the Tuba? It's up on YouTube if you want to check it out. And I have on my iPod Victor Jory. There's a recording with Danny Kaye, but Victor Jory is my favorite one. And it's about a tuba who never gets to play a melody, and when he kind of suggests that that might be a possibility, he's derided by the other instruments. But then he meets this frog who says, "That's nothing wrong with that. Sounds like a good idea to me," and who teaches Tubby a tune. Tubby then begins to play it with the orchestra and is immediately derided by the violins. But then the orchestra conductor, Senor Pizzicato, says, "Tubby, I've never heard a tuba play a melody before. Let's hear it." And of course, he plays it, and everybody joins in. And I'm getting goosebumps now. But at the very, very end, when Tubby says, "I still get verklempt when I listen to it," and there might be a little bit verklempt going on tonight, but I still get verklempt when he says, "Oh, how happy I am." So, it's about finding your voice, but then also there's a kind of Slavic da 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 dee da 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 da. So it was just a hop, skip, and jump from there to Prokofiev and Peter and the Wolf, and then I said that my lyrical influences were, for starters, Alan Sherman. So I was writing song parodies in high school, and then Tom Lehrer. And then Stephen Sondheim. And I was just really thrilled to learn, because I always thought Stephen Sondheim, all those brilliant lyrics just kind of came out of his incredibly created brain. But in fact, he used rhyming dictionaries and thesauruses, and he made long lists. And so, anyway. So, let's start off with a song that I wrote when I was in college. It was one of those. I spilled some coffee, and very uncharacteristically, for the time, I went to wipe it up. And as I was bending over, wiping it up, I thought, boy, if I was the size of a microbe, I could just live off of that coffee stain. If I were the size of a microbe, I could comfortably live off a coffee stain, couldn't I? And my problems would be proportionately smaller in proportion to my proportionately smaller brain, wouldn't they? And I'd be accepting and honest. I'd speak just the truth, which would be very wise, 'cause creatures that size can't afford to tell lies. And when you're the size of a microbe, well, you don't have to shower, you don't have to shave, and the code that you follow's genetic, which seems to me a more civilized way to behave. Wouldn't you agree? I know I should be happy, I'm human, but with all of my accessories I hardly feel complete. I just can't shake the thought when I walk down the street. I've worn shoes for so long I've lost track of my feet. But if I were the size of a microbe, I could comfortably live off a coffee stain, couldn't I? So this next song was also written in college, and is anybody familiar? It's really, I think this song has the strangest origin story of any of my songs. Is anybody familiar with the MMPI, the Minnesota Multiphasic Personality Inventory? It's a psychological test. It's been around for, I think, for the late 50s, early 60s. So I went to San Francisco State 68 to 72. And it was a real kind of tumultuous time at San Francisco. My freshman year was a student strike, and also they were trying out all these new kind of programs with my freshman class. And so my friend Claudia, she had a statistics class in psychology, so she came up with this great idea for her final project. She got a bunch of her friends together. We went over to her house, and we did the MMPI, which is like, I think, you see, in my head, I remember there being 800 questions, but I did some research, and I think there were around 550 true and false questions. So we did that, okay? Then the next week we came back, and we did it again, only we dropped acid before we did it. So you can imagine, answering 550 questions, true or false questions. I have to say, I only remember one question from the what do you call it, sir? From the MMPI, and it was the one that I could not answer. I did not know what the answer was. I didn't know if it was true or if it was false, and the question, no, it wasn't. They weren't questions. They were statements. The statement was, "I like to play drop the handkerchief." So I don't know. Not knowing what that meant, but anyway, so it was just right after having answered 550 true and false questions on LSD that we left the house, and I was walking down. It was on a steep hill, and walking down the hill, and I was thinking, wow, gravity. Ooh, oh, I'm really feeling it. Oh, just me and gravity. We just out for a little stroll. Just me and gravity, we're taking our morning stroll. I know right where I stand when gravity's in control. So don't you let gravity get you down. It's what keeps us on the ground, holding us together the whole world round as the world rolls round. And we couldn't go up if we didn't come down.
The sun's the one that makes my morning bright. Without the sun, I never would have seen the light. And who works 24 hours each day helping little things grow, who's humble enough to play backup for showers, willing to sit out a set for some snow. Ain't it great, things stay put, ain't it grand, the earth turns and the seasons repeat as the sun burns. The sun,
just me and gravity, we're taking our morning stroll. I know right where I stand, gravity's in control. So don't you let gravity get you down. It's what keeps us on the ground, holding us together the whole world round as the world rolls round. Just me and gravity, we're dancers extraordinaire. I trust in gravity each morning to be right there. So don't you let gravity get you down. It's what keeps us on the ground, holding us together the whole world round as the world rolls round. And we couldn't go up if we didn't come down. No, we couldn't go up if we didn't come down. No, we couldn't go up if we didn't come down. Okay. Next, so far these songs are kind of in, they're kind of in chronological order as they were written. So in the late 70s, I answered an ad and I got a job as a counselor at the San Francisco Boys Club summer camp. And so there I went up there with my guitar, with my copy of Plato's Symposium, and up in the Camp Mendocino in the redwoods there were a lot of banana slugs, and unfortunately they garnered unwanted attention from the campers. In fact, the campers would kind of go to the back door of the kitchen and ask the cook if he had any extra salt, or else, if they couldn't find salt, they would just smash them with rocks. So I decided to write a song so that the kids would lay off of the banana slugs. Okay? Banana slug, they're not the sort of pet that you want to hug. Folks think more highly of snake and bug than they do of the lowly banana slug. All God's creatures have something which makes them belong. Chipmunks are cute and the birds have their song, but the only thing the slug leaves wherever it goes is something that looks like what comes out of your nose. Nobody likes a banana slug, they're not the sort of pet that you want to hug. Folks think more highly of snake and bug than they do of the lowly banana slug. They're sticky and dicky and yellowish green. It's hard to describe them without sounding mean. Only good point about them, as far as I can tell, is they're braver than snails, 'cause they don't wear a shell. Nobody likes a banana slug, they're not the sort of pet that you want to hug. Folks think more highly of snake and bug than they do of the lowly banana slug. I feel sorry for the slugs. They can't help the way they are. With the way they've been treated, I'm surprised they've come this far. We've abused them enough that it's time we made amends. So love a slug today. Just don't tell your friends, 'cause nobody likes a banana slug. They're not the sort of pet that you want to hug. Folks think more highly of snake and bug than they do. Than they do. Than they. What? Than they do of the lonely banana slug. Thank you. And they did lay off the banana slugs. Yeah, the banana slugs have a symbiotic relationship with redwoods. They eat all the invasive little critters that would threaten the saplings. So if you're a songwriter, you have to start writing a love song of sorts at some point. So, and here I was, I guess actually I wrote this one before the banana slug song, but San Francisco, late 60s, early 70s, LGBTQ, the whole gay scene was happening. So say I hear they've invented a plastic heart, one that won't break or fall apart, or one that's scuff resistant too. Got a feeling gonna need it to be with you. I guess I'm old-fashioned, I think courting is sweet, but love's left the parlor, now it's out in the street. Well, I'm still there. I'm still yearning for something that's. Let's try that one more time. I may be old-fashioned, I think courting is sweet, but love's left a parlor now, it's out in the street. I'm still yearning for something a bit more discreet, 'cause there's more to love than meets the eye that eyes the meat. That's why I blow each chance to make an advance in raw technology. Oh, I may be a schmuck, but one frenzied buck just can't take the place of good company. That's why I'm searching for a plastic heart, one that won't break or fall apart, one that's scuff resistant too. I got a feeling gonna need it with you. I got a feeling gonna need it with you. I got a feeling gonna need it with you. Thank you. Well, now I get to put away the guitar for a while. And,
Well, late night.
what?
Late night. Late night.
Oh, yeah. So after that song, I thought, well, why don't I try for something a little bit more romantic, something in a romantic vein. Okay, so came up with this. There's something that's ageless. Am I in the right key?
Yeah.
Oh, good. There's something that's ageless. There's something that's ageless when we're in the moonlight, that the hesitant heart must pursue, a sweet pulsing rhythm, a warm rendezvous, something so deep and so true. It's fated. There's something that's timeless. There's something that's timeless when we're in the moonlight, that obscures any memory of sun, a night without end that has barely begun, makes one think magic is underrated. So don't be shy, darling, take my hand. Don't be afraid of forever. You're reluctant, I understand. I once was new to eternity too. Just believe me, receive me, it's now or it's never, my love. Each night I can tell you're under my spell, smiling as though you were drunk on a god I subtly seduce. You'll find some excuse for those strange little marks on your body. We're waltzing like this, while spinning we kiss. My lips when they're well-traveled way toward your breast, then come to a rest, how firmly they're pressed, yet so gently you never suspect a thing. And what seems to you an affectionate peck is my teeth sinking into your neck. Yes, feel how familiar it's getting to be. Tenderly trained, moderately drained, you'll receive the best care short of setting you free. You're too great an investment to me. Now you're sinking into your neck, my teeth sinking into your neck. Okay, so now this time really a love song. And I rewrote, but just so I know I'm gonna forget it.
Yeah, Matthew's always improving his songs.
Hey, look it! I heard that Leonard Cohen. Not that I'm in the same category, but
You're both songwriters.
yeah, but he worked on Hallelujah. He worked on that damn song for a long time.
Yeah, and look how long it is now.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. No, I'm gonna just have to read. Okay. Great loves have been recorded right in this book, and we make believe they're true. There's Antony and what's her name, Romeo and who. A most exclusive club where legendary lovers tryst. What chances do mere mortals have of getting on that guest list? But we'll see if your love is half of what you make it out to be. Well, we'll see, go ahead and laugh, love. Oftentimes the joke's on me, but we'll see. Though you may be my partner till parted by death, I'm not about to hold my breath. The odds may be in our favor, still I'm not placing any bets as to if we both will stay together. Safer wagering on the weather, we'll see. Now all those things you told me are things that only time can tell. Well, we'll see, forever have and hold me. Now, doesn't that sound dull as hell? But we'll see. How could anybody leave you? Why would anybody dare? I may find out all too soon if I'm not careful. Your mystery's what keeps me held in awe and unaware, like some private joke that I don't get, or at least I haven't gotten yet. Ba-da-ba, ba-ba-ba-ba-ba, ba-ba-ba, ba-da-ba-da-ba, ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba. Take it away, Joshua. We'll see. We could stay comfy, cozy, or we could end up climbing the walls. Well, maybe it's good we don't know all that's going on inside our minds. I just wonder just how delicate's the tie that binds us. I'd state my thoughts if they weren't of such contradictory kinds, like, are you caring, are you cruel, or am I just a total fool? Well, we'll see. Hey, wouldn't it be funny if all your love was all mine too? 'Cause I love you. my God. Okay. This this song is dedicated to Jean Gonick. It's one of her favorite songs. Oh, by the way,
Where is Jean Gonick now that we need her?
well, I'll tell you later.
Oh, okay.
Anyway,
That's where we go to.
I'm going to be helped out. Oh, no, I'm not. No,
Oh,
no. Never mind.
Oh, but I need.
Yeah, but, yeah.
Because I couldn't learn this on the accordion because it's got too many chords. Come on in.
Well, there's no
Where'd
place
go?
to see.
Oh, okay. There's one.
There's one seat. Go for it.
Everybody say hi, James. Everybody say hi,
It's
James.
James. Hey, James. Yeah. Okay. So,
Ready?
yeah. Oh, the moon, oh, the wine, oh, that night when you were mine. No, my dear, it need not be just a memory. Don't tell me we had too much to drink last night. Don't tell me you've sobered up since then. You say our passion was a wine and the moon above. Well, either my kidneys are weak or I am in love. 'Cause I'm still drunk on you all through the day, and I'll have a hangover when you go away.
Oi!
You say our passion was a wine and the moon above. Well, either my kidneys are weak or I am in love. 'Cause I'm still drunk on you all through the day, and I'll have a hangover when you go away. No, you skipped a measure. It repeats.
Oh, okay.
Doesn't
No, but
it doesn't in there?
let's go ahead.
I'm still drunk on you all through the day, and I'll have a hangover when you go away. When you go away, if you go away, ne me quitte pas, please don't go away. Okay. So, and I would like to, a little round of applause, please, for Amyellen Kessler, who helped out with the Gravity song, and will be helping us out some more later. Okay, I need to sit down. And I might need to. So, serve me up some Shakespeare, right? So, shortly out of college, I got involved with a Shakespeare troupe. We were actually a Shakespeare commune. And there was some acid involved in that, too. But we performed lesser-known Shakespeare around the Bay Area. And that's when I found I had this sort of affinity to Shakespeare's verse, and that the music came. I just had to spend a little time with Shakespeare, and the music would come. So I'm going to do a few of those songs, but. This song I wrote after my neighbors Jill and Cab and I, Jill and Cab are in the audience, we went to see the San Francisco Shakespeare Festival's production of Much Ado About Nothing. And I was reminded once again, I know for very practical reasons, Shakespeare as we see it performed, is edited greatly, and so right now we're kind of involved. My dear friend and colleague Michelle Hayner is here, and we're going to be doing a Shakespeare residency back at the school where I used to teach film, and the idea is that because we don't get the full richness of Shakespeare often in performance, this provides an opportunity for everyday people to really kind of explore Shakespeare from the inside out, to have that language inhabit them, elevate them, maybe change them genetically, probably, especially if you've had that vaccine too, between the two of them, so I wrote this song. I think I'm just going to read the lyrics.
Into the microphone, though.
What?
Into the microphone.
If you are serving Shakespeare, count me in, but here's the deal. I do not want the diet plate, I want the full-course meal. Yes, Shakespeare's weighty fare, and I would hope we could agree that nowhere in that banquet is an empty calorie. So please, sir, serve me up some Shakespeare rich and unadulterated, only undiluted Shakespeare in my cup will keep me sated. How I love to feast on Shakespeare, love to hear it, love to quote it. So please serve me up some Shakespeare, there's no need to sugarcoat it. I will gladly gorge on Shakespeare while the rest debate who wrote it. Now some folks find that
There's a key change.
Now, did you? Now, some. Did you change it lower? It's the same key.
Thank you.
Now, some folks find that Shakespeare's plays are just a bloody bore. How can that be with all those words you never heard before? To make the plays more palatable seems to be the plan. The end result, the tribute to the short attention. A tribute to the short attention span. So please serve me up some Shakespeare rich and unadulterated,
Only undiluted Shakespeare in my cup will keep me sated. How I love to feast on Shakespeare, love to hear it, love to quote it. So please serve me up some Shakespeare. There's no need to sugarcoat it. I will gladly gorge on Shakespeare while the rest debate who wrote it. There's more than 20,000 different words in Shakespeare's plays. You'd never guess it with the way it's packaged nowadays. 1,700 of them invented on the spot. And what's their fate? Scraped off the plate without a second thought. So please serve me up some Shakespeare, rich and unadulterated. Only undiluted Shakespeare in my cup will keep me sated. How I love to feast on Shakespeare, love to hear it, love to quote it. So please serve me up some Shakespeare. There's no need to sugarcoat it. I will gladly gorge on Shakespeare while the rest debate who wrote it. Thanks for this opportunity to get this off my chest. I hate this trend of making Shakespeare easy to digest. Unmodified is how it earned its well-deserved renown, with offerings that lift you up and never let you down. So please serve me up some Shakespeare, rich and unadulterated. Only undiluted Shakespeare in my cup will keep me sated. How I love to feast on Shakespeare, love to hear it, love to quote it. So please serve me up some Shakespeare. There's no need to sugarcoat it. I will gladly gorge on Shakespeare. I don't give a fuck who wrote it. Whoa. Thank you for hanging in there with me. So, the other thing that happened after Jill and Cab and I went to see that production of Much Ado About Nothing, and gosh, I don't have the music for it, so I'm just going to do it anyway. Okay. So there's a song, one of my favorite song texts in Shakespeare's plays comes from that, from Much Ado. But the way it was performed, they kind of performed it as a heavy metal number, and you couldn't hear the words at all. And the words are I think are really cool. So I immediately ran back home and kind of found, a lot of this stuff is not written down. I've been just kind of, since my retirement, I've been retrieving. So this is Sigh No More Ladies. Sigh no more, ladies, sigh no more. Sigh no more, ladies, sigh no more. Men were deceivers ever. 1 foot in sea, 1 foot in sea. Let's try it again. Sigh no more, ladies, sigh no more. Men were deceivers ever. one foot in sea and one on shore, to one thing constant, never. Then sigh not so, but let them go, and be you blithe and bonny, converting all your sounds of woe into hey nonny nonny. Sing no more ditties, sing no more of dumps so dull and heavy. The fraud of men was ever so, since summer first was leavy. Then sigh not so, but let them go, and be you blithe and bonny, converting all your sounds of woe into hey nonny nonny. Sigh no more, ladies, sigh no more. Okay. Thank you. Really, really, thank you. So, can we?
We tune because we're paid by the hour. Take it back in. He has a tuner, but the tuner is not tuned to the piano. That's the problem.
If anybody knows how to tune my tuner to the piano, too late.
G chord. Close enough for folk music.
It's close enough. Okay, so Shakespeare. Shakespeare took on a whole new significance for me in the aftermath of the AIDS epidemic. And I had a dear friend, Peter, who died of AIDS in 93. And after his death, I had to figure out some way of dealing with the loss, and I decided to turn to Shakespeare. And I went and looked at song text and verse that I previously set to music, but then also I looked at the sonnets. And the first revelation, which somehow they forgot to mention it in college or in high school, was that the way that they're ordered, traditionally ordered, the first 126 of the sonnets are addressed to a young man. And what's kind of cool is because our brains are hardwired for reading stories into things. So you can kind of, it's kind of fun to look at those sonnets and kind of come up. There's a little narrative. There's definitely a relationship between the poet and the young man, and then there's times when he gets jealous, and there's times when they're kind of involved with the same person, and then later in the sonnets is this dark lady, totally different person that is the subject of the sonnets, But if you look at the sonnets, the first sonnets, it's as if the poet was commissioned to write a series of sonnets to convince this young man to get married. And the poet's argument is, if you don't get married, your beauty will die with you. It'll take your beauty to the grave. And so
So that's kind of the message of most of the sonnets until he gets to sonnet 18. And then the poet goes, there's one other way besides having a child that your beauty can live on, and that's in the immortal lines to time of my verse. So this is sonnet 18, and dear Amy is going to be helping us out with it too. Shall I compare thee to a summer's day? Thou art more lovely and more temperate. Rough winds to shake the darling buds of May, and summer's lease hath all too short a date. Sometime too hot the eye of heaven shines, and often is his gold complexion dimmed, and every fair from fair sometime declines, by chance or nature's changing course untrimmed. But thy eternal summer shall not fade, nor lose possession of that fair thou owest, nor shall death brag thou wanderest in his shade, when in eternal lines to time thou growest. So long as men can breathe or eyes can see, so long lives this, and this gives life to thee. But thy eternal summer shall not fade, nor lose possession of that fair thou owest, nor shall death brag thou wanderest in his shade, when in eternal lines to time thou growest. So long as men can breathe or eyes can see, so long lives this, and this gives life. So long lives this, and this gives life to thee. To thee. Now, next up, just two songs from The Tempest, two of Ariel's songs. These actually occur at different. The second one occurs earlier in the play, but anyway, these kind of works together, I think. Where the bee sucks, there suck I. In the cowslip's bell I lie. There I couch when owls do cry. On the bat's back I do fly. After summer merrily, after summer merrily, merrily, merrily will I live now, under the blossom that hangs on the bough. Merrily, merrily will I live now, under the blossom that hangs on the bough.
Full fathom 5 thy father lies, of his bones are coral made. Those are pearls that were his eyes, nothing of him that doth fade, but doth suffer a sea change into something rich and strange. Sea nymphs hourly ring his knell, ding dong, ding dong. Hark now, I hear them, ding dong bell, ding dong, ding dong. Sea nymphs hourly ring his knell, ding dong dong, ding dong dong. Hark now, I hear them, ding dong bell, ding dong dong, ding dong, ding dong, ding dong. Yes. There's no death, only change. That's what I get out of that song.
So who is this mystery woman we have stumbling on stage every so often?
Well, this is Amy. And I was honored enough. I think this is where we really should trade places.
Okay, that works.
And then you can hand me.
Okay.
You can hand me that, and you can put that there. And
Here, have a book.
so anyway, the last time I was here was helping Amy out in her show here at Brody Beckett called Reeling, Reeling, songs from movies.
Use the mic.
Oh. Songs. Oh, right. Ooh, hey, I think this is a better mic.
Oh.
Anyway.
Well, Amy's a better singer. So.
Yeah. Anyway, for those of you who didn't hear that, I was Amy asked me to help out with her show Reeling, and so I decided to return the favor or something, or if she would return the favor or whatever, and that's why she's helping me out tonight.
Well, the honor is all mine, Matthew. Thank you.
Very good. Okay,
Since
so
what's past is prelude. This song from our last episode of Reeling is a sort of a foreshadowing of what's to come in episode 3. If not this song, if not this movie, something.
yeah, we're hoping to get reeling again.
Yeah. Je peux tenir mes jours à Tombouctou, la potirer des machines à clous. Je veux être frippé, triplement frippé, frippé comme un triplet de belle vie. Je peux finir ma vie à Acapulco, on s'est trouvé avec des gigolos. Je veux être tordu, triplement tordu, balancé comme un triplet de belle vie.
Everybody.
Swinging Belleville rendezvous, marathon dancing dookie-doo, voodoo, ball taboo.
Belleville swinging rendezvous. J'ai pas finir ma vie à Singapour. Je dis qu'on mangeait des petits fours. Je vais être idiote, triplement idiote. Gondoler comme un triple de Belleville. J'ai pas finir ma vie à Honolulu. Chanter comme un oiseau dès qu'il plus. Je veux ma voix brisée, triplement brisée. Swinging comme un triple de Belleville. Allez les filles!
Swinging Belleville rendezvous. Marathon dancing doop-de-doo. Voodoo can taboo. Belleville swinging rendezvous.
Swinging Belleville rendezvous. Marathon dancing doop-de-doo. Voodoo cat taboo. Swinging rendezvous. Okay, folks, so here's the deal. We're an hour, well, about just a little over an hour. And we could, it would just be too much of a mess. Does anybody have to use the restroom? We're just going to finish this off. It was euthanasia. Okay, oh boy.
Oh boy, oh joy, where do we go from here?
Okay, cool. Okay. Okay, now this is a really special song that I wrote last June, and what happened was I started to write it, and I stopped myself because the melody that I was coming up with for the verse was familiar. I mean, really familiar. In fact, it was it's the same kind of, it's the same melody as this little fisherman's song that I first heard when Spencer Tracy sang it to Freddie Bartholomew in Captain's Courageous. Don't cry, little fish, don't cry, don't cry. Don't cry, little fish, don't cry, don't cry. Well, many, many years later, while I was working at French American School, I found out that it actually is a Portuguese fishing song. So, because it was so familiar, I just thought, okay, I'm gonna stop right there. And then I remembered, like for instance, Leonard Bernstein. How do you pronounce his last name, by the way? Bernstein, sorry, thank you. I should know that by now. Leonard Bernstein. Somewhere. There's a place for us. Well, in Beethoven's Piano Concerto number 5 or 4, in the second movement, is la, 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 la. And then there's Bernstein's la, 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 la. And I'm pretty sure that Bernstein was familiar with Beethoven's Piano Concerto, okay? And then, just think about the 8-bar blues and the 12-bar blues. And then there's always Goldfinger, wider than a mile. So, it's...
No jury would convict you.
No jury. And also, it was something that I would tell my students. And I got it from Keith Johnstone, who is an improv teacher. And he says, one of the biggest problems is people, when they're improvising, self-censoring themselves. So, and here I was doing the same thing. So, and then finally, when it came down to it, I just really needed this song to sing to myself. So here it is, and when the dreams you have dreamed and the plans you have planned leave your battered resolve on the ropes, and you're wondering how much your heart can withstand with your fears for... I need to bring this up. Wow. When the fears you have when the dreams you have dreamed and the plans you have planned leave your battered resolve on the ropes, and you're wondering how much your heart can withstand with your fears far outweighing your hopes, well, try swimming toward that tsunami of doubt. Yes, try diving into the doubt. Let it wash over you as you plunge through. You'll be amazed how you're not turning blue. You can't believe you can breathe, but it's true when you dive into the doubt. What if you can't keep up with your life's hectic pace? What if you end up bitter at best? What if your benefactors all laugh in your face? What if you could just give it a rest and start swimming toward that tsunami of doubt? You start diving into the doubt. Let it wash over you as you plunge through. You'll be amazed how you're not turning blue. You can't believe you can breathe, but it's true when you dive into the doubt. So don't soak in that puddle of oh, woe is me, though it does hold a certain appeal. Nothing grand was accomplished through hesitancy. No, you might as well shut up and deal and keep swimming toward that tsunami of doubt. Yes, keep diving into the doubt. Let it wash over you as you plunge through. You'll be amazed how you're not turning blue. You can't believe you can breathe, but it's true when you dive into the doubt. Trust me, you'll find your own way of riding it out when you dive into the doubt. When you dive into the doubt. I have this wonderful idea.
Do it anyway.
What if I don't play the guitar on the last one?
That's okay.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
Good. Because I'm going to tune my guitar. Just 3 short songs to go.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So, yeah, I wrote this song this past fall. And what had happened was a number of my friends over the summer, I had a number of my friends facing all sorts of health challenges. And so then simultaneously, September was rolling around, and for the first time in a long time, I was feeling a real resistance to letting go of summer and the sun. And I went to my little notebook and I wrote down, it's summer and you wish its lazy ways would never end, then comes autumn. And then I immediately heard the melody and I go, oh my God, here comes another song. But it wasn't until a few days of writing it, because I never know what my songs are about until I'm well into them. Because usually with Shakespeare, I'm Richard Rogers to Oscar Hammerstein. Rogers and Hart, Rogers would write the music first and Hart would come up with the lyrics. And sometimes take a long time, too long, to come up with the lyrics. With Hammerstein would write the lyrics first, and Rogers would write the music. So I usually kind of have the melody, and then I find out what the song was about. So as I started writing this, where did my capo go? Okay. I realized this song was about my friends, my reaction to my friends. It's summer and you wish its lazy ways would never end. Then comes autumn. The seasons have their reasons, so it's silly to pretend it's not autumn. The year's still full of all its possibilities, if you spot 'em. So go ahead and greet the day. In fact, it wouldn't hurt to say, welcome autumn. The falling leaves may trick you that the world is in decline when it's autumn. The simple fact is life is temporary by design. Don't blame autumn. You know full well the time's inclined to change your plans once you plot 'em. The grass turns brown, the flowers fade. That's just how living things are made. Welcome autumn. So when it's fall, don't fret, don't fuss. Have faith, it's all a part of something much bigger than us. You've weathered through this crazy expedition round the sun. Now it's autumn. With your fair share of wear and tear, with plenty left undone. And it's autumn. But hey, you held on to your dreams, so just be glad you still got 'em. And wipe away that wistful tear. The summer's gone, but you're still here. Welcome autumn. And if you don't find all the answers, it's enough that you sought 'em. So don't be shy, embrace the day, put on your bravest face and say, welcome autumn. Welcome autumn. Ooh, ooh, ooh.
Okay. Yeah, okay. I'll use this. Yeah, okay. So, just 2 more to go, folks. And thank you. Thank you for, you've been a really lovely audience, you know. Now I know why entertainers say that. So, I was able, through my music, to honor my friend Peter. But before Peter, in fact, my friend Mark Delanier, real character. A friend of mine once said, "Oh yes, your friend Mark, the bon vivant." And there are just a few, maybe 1 or 2 people in the audience who even remember Mark or knew him. And I also, for me, kind of the AIDS epidemic was bookended by the deaths of these 2 men who I was very close to. And after Mark died in '86, he was like, well, you know, one of the, you know, in the beginning of the epidemic, and he was diagnosed in '84 and died in '86. And some months after he had died, I wrote this little melody, and all I knew was it was his melody. But I never got around to developing it further or assigning it lyrics. And then just about 2 months ago, it came, you know. It's like it said, okay, I'm ready. Here we go. So as I was like working on this song, I was looking at our relationship. You know, what were Mark and I? We weren't lovers in the traditional sense of the word. We were more than friends. We were constant bedfellows for 6 years. And as I was trying to figure out exactly, you know, how to categorize our relationship, I remembered Walt Whitman's poem, Song of the Open Road, and the final lines of this poem, which goes, "Camarado, I give you my hand. I give you my love more precious than money. I give you myself before preaching and law. Will you give me yourself? Will you come travel with me? Shall we stick by each other as long as we live?" And that's when I thought, yeah, that's who Mark and I were. We were camarados. It's not. It's just we were so new to death. It caught us by surprise, and clumsily we learned to die and grieve and eulogize. Yes, day by day we learned to grieve and eulogize. It's not hard to drift. It's not hard to drift into. It's not hard to drift into the long ago when so many things remind me. I was waiting for a friend who didn't show. You were sitting right behind me. I leaned back and you were there, and that's how we became a pair. Without a clue, without a care, my camarado. Through some wacky alchemy, we two combined, and it didn't need a label. By default, we kept things neatly undefined, all the better to enable. Back when mischief was our friend, who could have guessed how it would, who could have guessed how it would end? Oh, what awaited round the bend, my camarado. I let you lead the way toward that wild, reckless fun where one lives beyond one's means, chasing the pleasure it brings to enjoy finer things, from Armani catalogs to coffee beans. What should rudely interrupt a sweet charade? This sly, mysterious affliction. We suspected that the piper must be paid, but weren't prepared for science fiction. Ambushed without warning and then booted out of Neverland. Some things one needs to learn firsthand, my camarado. And though we rarely spoke about death, I remember that time you said to me, I wish that I could lie back and fade into black, just like Betty Davis in Dark Victory. After you were gone, I wrote this melody, though it's taken years to sing it. I just knew I had to treat it tenderly, wouldn't do to rush or wing it. So here it is, Mark, here's your song. We got stuff right, we got stuff wrong. I'm glad that I could tag along, my camarado. Even though we were so new, my camarado, my camarado. It's funny, you know, I play that, but the few times I've played it for people, I start getting a little verklempt, that last verse. But. So, not to leave things on a kind of downbeat, I think I might even try this. This, is it? Working? Yeah. So,
Go that way. Pick up the mic. There you go.
I don't know what I do. Let's hear it for Joshua Raoul Brody. We figured out we've been working together for over 45 years or something.
75, 76.
76 years? Yeah.
Nope.
Okay, so about this song, I wrote this song about a year ago last fall, and so Usually when I would go to hear a performance and there'd be a sing-along, I really resisted it. I was thinking, well, I came to be entertained. I don't want to have to sing.
Keep talking.
Okay, I'll just keep talking. But the song I wrote, it has such a great chorus that you would probably resent me if I didn't ask for you to come in and sing it at the appropriate time. Okay, so I fancied my life as a sweet serenade, but the tune didn't turn out that way. I saw my hopes crushed and I watched my dreams fade. Yet in spite of it all, I can truly say there's nothing but love in my heart for the whole world. Nothing but love in my heart for the whole world. Nothing but love in my heart for the whole goddamned world. That's the chorus, okay? The bright promise of youth should be all that you need, or so I naively thought. But it's soon stripped away by men's cruelty and greed. You might think it a shame, but it's really not. 'Cause I've still got nothing but love in my heart for the whole world. Nothing but love in my heart for the whole world. Nothing but love in my heart for the whole goddamned world. You will lose everything, yes, your lovers, your looks. No way to delay the theft. Happy endings lie buried in fairy tale books. And yet, given my losses, am I bereft? No, look what's left. There's nothing but love in my heart for the whole world. Nothing but love in my heart for the whole world. Nothing but love in my heart for the whole goddamned world. The whole dear goddamned world. Nothing but love in my heart for the whole world. Nothing but love in my heart for the whole world. Nothing but love in my heart for the whole goddamned world. So how come I'm content with the hand I've been dealt? How is it I persevere? I've got quite enough suffering under my belt, but inside of my heart through its bruised veneer, one thing seems clear, that the world takes its toll from your very first breath. So the best strategy is just love it to death. And there's nothing but love in my heart for the whole world. Nothing but love in my heart for the whole world. Nothing but love in my heart for the whole dear God damned world. Thank you all. Thank you. Thank you, Amy.
Thank you all. Thank you all for
Thank you,
coming.
Matt.
It would have been shorter without the mistakes.
And the introductions. And
No. The introductions are part of it, definitely. Why are you so sad?